Greetings and welcome to this No, wait, that's the wrong. Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and unicorns. Thank you so much for joining me on another Sunday. I hope you had a great week, because I did not. Well, it's not that bad. It was, again, a bit stressful. So I thought I welcome you to a very nice, relaxed, chill stream where we're just going to do some nice drawing, perhaps. I'm trying my hand again at digital painting. It's going to be very dark again because, as I've said in my previous art streams, I don't paint or draw what I can't, and this is why pretty much everything is just shrouded in darkness so that I can cheat my way around. Yeah, thank you so much for subscribing as well. I just saw it in the chat there that, oh dear, it's French, Arjo, and it's a French silent X, I would assume, in the name. Thank you so much for extending your subscription. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. So, Lilo Cormick is also there. Audio is fine. Lady Misleaf says there's no audio. I would hope there is audio. Is there music? Because I thought I put in some music. You know what? Now there should be music as well. And Asho says, I've subscribed 5 months ago and never attended a single stream because of my busy schedule, but here I am. Thank you so much for making time today on this apparently very busy schedule of yours on a Sunday, no less, to drop by and watch the stream. Okay, wonderful. Lady Misleaf says, for some reason the stream was muted on my end. It never muted for me ever. Apparently, maybe it's Twitch thinks that my voice sounds annoying, and then it thought maybe just mute it on it's doing some A and B testing and just seeing whether my streams would be better if there would be no sound. Could be that. Who knows? So yeah, the program for today, like I said, is a very relaxed one. One reason being that I don't know for how long I can stream today, because my wife currently is at work and I'm going to pick her up when she's finished. And she's doing news editing over at a local TV station. And today it's not news, it's for a different program that's going to air tomorrow. But they need all those little insert clips today. Anyway, we never know when she will be finished on a Sunday, so whenever she writes me the message, then I'll have to, forego the stream for today. Maybe we'll pick it up next week. Who knows where we get to today? But yeah, that's the plan for today. Frank says there's no news today. No, on a Sunday there's never anything interesting happened on a Sunday, or well, at least she's not booked to to do the news on a Sunday, or not on this Sunday. In the current circumstances, I prefer days without news. Well said, and I think this is why we're all here. This is the stream without bad surprises or newsworthy content or anything like that at all. It's just a very chill, very relaxed stream. At least this is the plan for today, because you know, it's one of those days where you wake up in the morning, you think you had plenty of sleep, but you still feel groggy, and then you go for a nap and you wake up from your nap and it feels like, yeah, I've napped now for 2 hours and nothing has changed. And yeah, it's one of those days for me. I really wanted to get work done. I got a lot of administrative stuff to do, you know, piles of unopened envelopes and such. So yeah, I really thought we'll do this this afternoon, and yeah, I took a long nap, so guess I'm old. So next week I probably will be dispensing Werther's hard candies to everyone. So this is where we are heading. I wanted to get myself all psyched up with some coffee, but I didn't manage to make me some coffee because I was running out of time before the stream. So it's one of those days where I'll be having a weird drink, and this is all I could find there in the fridge. And this is some Red Bull cola. No, I'm not sponsored by Red Bull, I just work there, and this is what I nicked from the office fridge. So yeah, maybe later. But as always, when I say the beautiful word unicorn, it's our little drinking game where we all should have a sip of water, because it's healthy and fun to stay hydrated. And also helps when you're doing some talking. Lady Misleaf says, you say it's a chill stream, but I recall you being under quite a bit of pressure last week when you were being harassed by the Allied forces in CNC. Exactly. And this is why I'm not going to play Command & Conquer. Because I was getting a bit frustrated there. But in the end, I managed to beat the mission because thankfully Red Alert Remastered, or even the original Red Alert, is much easier in terms of difficulty than the original Command & Conquer. Who would have thought, because I'm playing the not campaign of the original Command & Conquer, well, the remastered version of the first Command & Conquer. And by God, it's hard. It's hard. You really have to internalize all what enemy or what unit is good against which other. In Red Alert, if you have a lot of units, it really doesn't matter. As soon as you got plenty of one, even basic infantry can take out a tank if it's 100 of them. So, and with the not campaign in Command & Conquer, it's not like that. Many campaigns start you off without the possibility of building your base right away. Sometimes you have just this single set of units that you need to steer through a mission against the odds, and my God, it's a lot of saves coming. So, point being, I'm very chill, I'm very relaxed today. So, and I hope we will see also this reflected in the beautiful artwork that I'll be creating. So I will switch over now to my screen. And yeah, it looks a bit drab right now, but this is my setup there for my art stuff. I got, by the way, I got two setups. One is this one here. This is just UHD. Where is my mouse pointer? There it is. Yeah, it's UHD and 16 bits per channel for doing some basic, very, yeah, just random painting essentially, because it's always easier to go smaller, especially when you want to draw in some details. But this is why my canvas is set up at this incredible, yeah, unnecessary big dimensions, I would say. Oh, by the way, in the chat, I've missed again, as always. Sorry for not catching up with the chat. Frank said, I felt like that when I woke up, but I managed to force myself to do stuff, and now I have a proper lighting in more parts of the house. This is wonderful, especially when the winter is coming and there's not much light out there. So it's good that the lighting system, not only in Unity, is great, but also in your house. So 2 thumbs up and one stylus. And Lilo Cormac says, I don't know how it works here, but I want to see you drawing. So draw now. Okay, good. So we're going to do some drawing. Okay, so this is one setup for painting stuff. And then I got here this thumbnail drawing template because I don't know about you, but for me, you probably know me, I'm more or less a perfectionist, and sometimes I lose myself in the details. And this is why I have this template here set up, which essentially it's not that huge. Okay, so this is the old template because this is huge. But essentially this is just a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's of 10 thumbnails essentially. And the background color is gray, because that way it's when I'm doing some thumbnail drawings, yeah, like I said, it's a very big brush, so that I'm not tempted to go into the details and just draw something and it's dark gray, because I can use the black brush or the white brush and yeah, do some very basic shading there just to get things across. So yeah, any ideas what we should be drawing today? One drawback is I can't do characters or anything like that. I think I'm most at home with weird, very dark and moody landscapes, I would assume. But yeah, I think this is what we're going to start with now. And I have a thing for beautiful, colorful light sources that light the scene just in very delineated parts, and yeah, where everything is just, like I said, shrouded in darkness, so that I'm not bothered by drawing things that I can't draw. Draw several unicorns. Oh my god, maybe you should practice characters then. Yeah, I thought about practicing characters and yeah, doing studies of characters, but this is not something that I want to do on the stream. But you know what? Let's do a character with how I usually start out with characters. So there is the head, and there is the torso, and maybe draw some limbs there. Those are the arms. Maybe here's some feet now, and I think I'm done with my abilities to draw characters. Maybe a nice face there and some wild hair. Yeah, doing character studies, it always frustrates me, especially if you do some live drawing. I don't know why, but I have such a hard time getting the proportions right, because in the end, painting is just managing proportions across the page, and when you get it right everywhere, congratulations, you've got a pretty nice live drawing, and the rest is just shading. And it frustrates me. My god, it frustrates me when I don't get it right, because to get it right you need to have a lot of practice, and I don't like to practice that much because I get easily frustrated, and this is why I hardly get anywhere with characters. 10 years back I was quite good with characters because I attended an art university, an art college, and there we had to do some mandatory drawing, and of course if you draw all day every day for half a year, of course you improve, but then I just let it sit there, and yeah, here we are. Oh, Phil should draw himself riding a flying unicorn. Yeah, it's probably going to be more of a cartoon then, because yeah, this is me happy with my 2 claw hands. Yeah, maybe you know what, I draw hands now like in kindergarten. This is me happy on a unicorn, and this is the unicorn. The unicorn looks a bit derpy, and yeah, this is the unicorn flying there. Oh my god, horses and their hind legs. I don't know how to draw hind legs. This is the tail and sparkles. So you know what, I will save this now. Maybe I need something derpy for one of my projects, and this could be something. So I call this unicorn then. So it's good to have some things that you might think you will need later on, just to save them. You never know. And yeah, I get beautiful comments like, that's not bad and accurate. Thank you so much for making fun of me. Oh, Lady Misliff says it doesn't need to be lifelike. Look at your BC 2060 6210 BC character. Right, I don't even recall my first games, Ludum Dare games names that correctly. But yeah, this is what I said in the postmortem back then. I'm not really good with characters, so this is why their torso looks like this, and there's a head, and maybe not draw any limbs. I get free floating hands usually, and yeah, this is, you know what, this could also look like a very badly drawn face. Never mind. You know what? I will start with something now, and then we will see where things will take us. Or maybe we should draw just some science fiction-y thumbnails there. You know what? I think maybe we can take one of my thumbnails I drew a while back, if I can find them, and maybe. Oh, Lilo Cormick said, skip my suggestion. Lighthouse is what came to mind first. Oh, a lighthouse. This, you know what? This sounds very evocative. So maybe a lighthouse on the shore and some Cthulhian monster emerging from the depths. I'm not quite sure with the word depths how you pronounce the TH, and my assumption is you don't, and then it's just depths, and yeah, it's just the depths. An accumulation of Johnny Depps. Johnny's Depp. Sounds like a Phil drawing, says Lady Misleaf. Sorry, maybe I should have some colon right now when I'm mixing up basic words. Yeah, I think we will go with lighthouse then. Just go British and say depths. Oh dearie me. Yeah, I don't think I can find it. My beautiful thumbnails. Spoiler alert, they weren't that beautiful anyway. So yeah, let's start with the lighthouse scene then, and let's do the layout then. And should we start with the sky? Or you know what? Let me switch over to my fill brush. I got a lot of brushes there accumulated over the years, and maybe I should take Phil's Pencil 2019. Yeah, this looks good. And by the way, I'm very happy that for some reason the Wacom tablet works now. Okay, the first thing that we need is a horizon line, so I think I will draw it there. Next thing we need is a vanishing point, I would think, and I'm not quite sure about the entire composition, but it's always good to, it's like when you do photography, it's always better to keep it a bit more wide than necessary, because you can always zoom in a little bit closer, but you can't zoom out after the fact. So yeah, Frank says, oh, Lady Misliv says, maybe you should just call me Tina. Yeah, it would be probably easier, but I think I can manage. And Frank says, are you out of your depth with how to pronounce some words? Apparently I am. It's fathomless, my lack of knowledge with words. So I think my vanishing point could be here. So, and now, where are we standing when we are looking at the lighthouse? Maybe are we above the lighthouse and it's some sort of bird's eye view, or are we on the shore somewhere and looking up a cliff to a lighthouse? Not quite sure. You know what? I will just start somewhere with the outlines of a cliff there, and now it goes to the foreground, and there is some shore going on, and there we have the lighthouse sitting there on top. There is some light coming out of the lighthouse, and yeah, this, maybe there is not much there. Maybe there's a little house next to the lighthouse, or it's really just a lighthouse there. And then, yeah, maybe I think this could work if we keep it like this. What do you think? Maybe this looks like there starts a mountain or a hill, so this should be really. Why is my eraser this bad? Rough pastel. Yeah, it should be pretty flat and level there, maybe. Or maybe the shore extends backwards. Oh no, now we're above the horizon, so this doesn't work. This doesn't work. So I get rid now of my helper lines, just to be able to judge the composition a bit better. The thing is, I don't think I've actually seen a lighthouse in person. I mean, not that close, but I once saw a windmill a couple of years back in the Netherlands, and I was a bit under the weather, and for me it was just it was more amazing than it should have been, where I was on top of the windmill. It's like a little house with multiple stories, and I was on top of there. And I thought, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm in the middle of the Netherlands in Ginderijk and looking out of a actual windmill, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And yeah, anyway, so draw a troll, says Frank. This might be just a trolling session. Apologies, Phil. And hi there, says Inkin Imbula. Is there an image for a new game? Maybe it could be, because with the lighthouses, ever since I played Alan Wake, I have this weird fascination with when something starts with a lighthouse somewhere. I always get this Alan Wakey, Stephen King-like feeling. So maybe this could be the next Power MT game, maybe. So right now it's just to relax, because I really realized that I need some sort of a hobby, because with pretty much anything that I do that's not work related, sooner or later it starts out into becoming a project that I want to either publicize in one way or another, or I take pretty much everything too seriously, or everything should have a purpose for one of my projects. And this is why I thought today, no, we're just drawing something, and there is not much to this, though. It's really just for drawing's sake. So it's pure art. Lady Misliv says, oh, Lilo Cormick hit the nail right on the head then. Yes. There is a lighthouse pretty close from here, says Lilo Cormick. Let me see. No, not from where I live, but I can see the next door neighbors. Oh, there are too many people in there. Since we're in Corona times, I always get suspicious when I see more than one person at it's a weird time. Okay, so Lita says here, not there. Yeah, I figured as much. Wrong continent. Okay, so yeah, I'm not quite happy with how this extends outwards there. So maybe I try and zoom a bit more in. Maybe I have something like this for our composition, and let's start there. Okay, so or maybe have it even show even more of the sea. Then, yeah, maybe like this. Frank says you're mistaken. We get to troll you, not the other way around. Yeah, I'm never quite sure who's trolling who, and in the end, I always figure, I might be on the receiving end when somebody's being trolled, especially if I don't realize it, but everyone else. I guess this is why I'm not on Reddit that much, because I never know when I'm being trolled. You know what? I think it's time to open my cola and have a beautiful Red Bull cola there. Tastes exactly like it should, not too sugary, which I quite like. Okay, so let's bring up some colors and for our palette. Many artists, especially when you're doing pixel art, decide on their palette before drawing something. And for me, usually I like to draw, well, naturalistic is maybe the wrong word, but I don't like to constrict myself with the number of colors that I use when I'm creating the artwork, and then in the process of making it, I really figure out which colors are necessary or what my palette is going to be, and then slowly work my way down to actually take out colors and decrement the different colors that I have in an artwork. Especially when I'm doing pixel art, because sometimes it feels like it's like when you want to draw something, but you already have to have in mind which Instagram filter you want to put on there. And yeah, like I said, to me, this is more or less the final part of something. So should we have a red sky, maybe something like, excuse me, oh, that's the cola. The sun has just set, but the sky still feels kind of red and burning, but it's this sickly greenish gray blue on the outside there. So maybe this is how I want to start things. Yeah, my brushes, I put them in different categories. I even got here some watercolors. By the way, I didn't make all those brushes myself. For example, here the most, I think pretty much all of those watercolor brushes I downloaded from DeviantArt and modified them that they suited my needs. And this is also the same thing there with the pastel brushes. The pastels, I think they were called Nagel Series 41. If you want them, I'm not quite sure if the website still exists from where I got them, but in the end it's just these couple of 8 pastels that I really like to use for the past 10 years or so. Okay, so I will start with a very soft charcoal brush then, this one here, and make it really big. So let me undo this here, because right now I'm just laying down the foundation. Isn't this wonderfully relaxing, just laying the foundation of something? It's like with good old Bob Ross, just take a big brush and really mix some onyx green with some titanium white, and just lay it there on the canvas and take your time just to get things nice and even. And you know what, I will also extend this forwards. Maybe we'll have some sort of fog going there, because this is what it's going, at least it looks to me right now. So this is very nice. This is the foundation. It's now a bit too bright, of course, but yeah, since this is not Bob Ross, I can just open up the curves and make it a bit darker then. Yeah, not too dark. Of course, we want to see something also show up in the stream. Yeah, I will have another sip. And yeah, continue with the sky then. you know what, let's make it a bit more opaque. And yeah, let's like I said, some red there on the horizon. This was the wrong brush. Let's take yeah, the charcoal number 4. It looks like this, and make there very red, very glaring horizon line there. And yeah, this I don't like. Maybe the sun is just off canvas there, has just popped out of sight there. So those are just some clouds that we can still make out there, that I still get some light there from what remains there of the sun. No, how do I always select the wrong brush there? Also have maybe some of those streaks there behind where the lighthouse is going to be, just to give it some sort of, yeah, of contrast, that it pops a bit better against the background than if it's going to be dark. So I'm looking now at the thumbnail, the navigator. This is always good for me, just to look at the painting at a very small size. This is why I have set up this drawing template as thumbnails, because with thumbnails you can really see if it's going to work at a smaller size. And I think this is looking good. Frank says, I'm always in awe when I see someone use this sort of software, like the curves. I don't know the basics of what they do in principle. I know the basics of what they do in principle, but generally I have no clue how to get what I want. Yeah, with the curves, for example, pretty much all with those tools, it comes down to experience. And at some point, I mean, there with the curves, it's very easy. You know how a histogram works, right? It just plots the number of pixels of a certain brightness. And here I can see there's a spike there, which is probably the dark green there, and there is the red here, so I used a lot of reds. And then the bright pixels, the number of bright pixels there, sorry, this is not the red, this must be the green, because there's a majority of this green pixels there, and this lighter green must be the pixels, the white underneath the green, and this very bright red here is the number of pixels of those here is very small until it hits this huge peak there as well. This is where the red channel clips, and in the end that's pretty much it. So if I want to change just something there on the lower end, I make here a new anchor point, and then I can just change this here. And in the end, I think with curves, in principle, it's if you want to have more contrast, make it more like an S curve, and if you want to have less contrast, just do the opposite and have it like some sort of like this curve. Essentially you're just increasing the gamma. But yeah, right now I'm not concerned with that. Oh, look at this, I just drew pretty much everything there on one layer, which is exactly not what I wanted to do. But yeah, you know what, never mind, let's just keep drawing and shit. You know what, I can't work like this. I quickly recreate the rest of the lighthouse there, just that I have it on an individual layer there. Just the sketch for the composition there, that I can, yeah, just keep things separate there. So yeah, this is the lighthouse there, and there's not much behind the lighthouse. And yeah, there is this cliff. Maybe have an overhang there on the cliff. This is going to be a bit more dramatic. And there I have something in the foreground. Maybe do not swim signs here. Yeah, this would be unnecessarily funny, but just to give it some more depth, because without this here, this edge of the cliff there in front, it would look a bit bland, I have to say, and it's hard to gauge the difference, or the depth, not the difference, the depth in the image. Okay, so and of course, yeah, the horizon line again, and now I just get rid of it here, so that at least I have my sky and my sea untainted, hopefully Yeah. Like I said, usually you want to have the sky separate there from the background color. And you know what? Maybe I will use some image editing magic to get the red out of the green, to have both of them there on different layers. So yeah, this was just some sloppy work of mine, most likely because I was taking things a bit too leisurely, but here we are. Okay, so how to get the red out of the green. And I will copy, essentially just duplicate the layer. So this is it with all the transparencies shining through. So I'll just duplicate the layer multiple times just to make it as opaque as I can get it. And yes, to extract the red, let's head over to the individual channels, and you can see here the red channel looks pretty much what we want. It's just the red channel. So now I open up the histogram and make sure that the blacks are really super black, which they aren't. But when I pull this in a bit more, you can see maybe faintly how this big solid there vanishes. And just to be sure, because the problem is when I move the output levels too much in, I lose a lot of the fidelity that of course I want to keep. And here with the white, yeah, this is as good as it gets. So, and I just take this, so everything that is white is opaque and everything that is black is transparent. And what I can do now is I create a new layer, new fill layer, not to be confused with the host of this beautiful program. And I just make it red, and there it already got this mask, which currently says everything is opaque. If I only select the mask and paste, there we only have, if I switch on the black background, now it's only red. And now of course I can easily change here the color because now I got it separated. Cool. And so essentially if I want to keep drawing there, I don't need to change the color itself, unless of course I want to have a variation in the colors. I can just draw here on the image matte. And for the background, again, I just pick this one color and pretty much fill the entire canvas with this one color, because right now I don't have any details in there anyway. So this is, I think this is the currently only way to separate those two things. And on top of it, there I got my guides, let's call it guides. I think this is how you type it. Beautiful. And let's save this. Let's not call it unicorn, let's call it what's it called? A lighthouse, of course. Frank says in the chat, I get to tweak a dozen photos once a year when my parents need a new calendar for the organization they run. It's always the same. Some are more or less good as is, but there's always a few where lighting, saturation, sharpness is not what it should be, and it's always a struggle. Yeah, this is my daily bread and butter. Pictures, video things don't look as nice as they could, and it's pretty much my job to make them look as nice as they can, as glossy. And yeah, by the way, okay, now I have to do some advertisement for Red Bull, because yeah, the past weeks I was working on this big Red Bull Originals show, or it's just one film that's called The Old World, and it's 1 hour long program, and it's just about mountain bikers, yeah, doing the weirdest tricks. It's not just mountain bikers, it's more or less, yeah, bikers across Europe, from the UK to Spain, to Scandinavia, to Poland, and it was shot on multitude of different cameras, and of course each camera looks different, and it was very well shot, but because sometimes in the heat of the moment they don't even get matching white balances and so on. So essentially, yeah, I know you struggle because it's what I do each day, and sometimes it's still something that where you think, yeah, this should be done in a minute, and then it takes you 15 minutes because you don't really know how much went wrong in this one image sequence, for example, because it doesn't look like it. And of course, framing, says Frank, I like photos of people to not to be cut off halfway the feed, but you have to work with what you get. Yeah, this is another thing. Let me show you here with the thumbnails, because many people, when they take pictures and they aren't photographers or don't have, let's say, a feeling for how to frame things, of course, it would be to have the face in the middle. The problem is, then you got pictures that look like this, and they're not very pleasing, because the trick is really to have the face like this. It's a bit more interesting. So the more you zoom in, of course you really want, because you don't need all this space on top of the head. And the problem is in group photos, probably as Frank said, then you get a couple of people, and of course all their heads are in the middle, but then their feet usually are cut off. So what I suggest you do is just, if you can, just zoom in that the heads are on the bottom edge, and then you maybe around the waistline if you can. But it's pretty much anything above the knee. I think it's okay if you cut it off there, if you don't have have the feet on the photo anyway. Yeah, but this is just framing 101, because this is the other thing. Like I said, when you take a picture, make always sure, if you're not quite certain how much you will edit, that it's a bit too wide, not too tailor, not too with a wide angle. More on a wide angle lens than on a telephoto lens, because like I said, in the end it's always easier to zoom in. The fill layer is clipped to the upper right of the video, I think. This is correct. It's me, it's the fill layer, and I'm there, and this is my paint. No, there is the painting. I should do more. I should more interact on this level there with my little thumbnail. Or use AI feed, of course. We're living in a great time where you can do a lot with artificial intelligence, essentially dreaming up pixels again, where there were none. And for those who follow my Twitter, the other day, or was it? No, it was Friday, I attempted to upscale one of the old Computer Chronicles episodes, because I recently invested in an AI upscaler for videos, because I want to get the best quality possible out there. And I thought sometimes, this was wrong. Sometimes, again, wrong. This looks better. Sometimes you need old videos, but of course you don't want to have them crummy looking, because like I said, I'm all about quality. And this is why I invested in this video upscaler. And I as a test, I upscaled one of the old Computer Chronicles shows. And in thumbnails and still images, it looks really good. It looks like, oh my god, there's detail where there wasn't none before. But as soon as the image starts moving, you notice it looks weird. It looks like a fever dream of some kind. For example, when people turn their head, more or less the hair still stays the same. They turn their head, and then it starts to slowly shift into the new hair shape. It's really weird. I will upload it to YouTube when I'm finished with doing some more color grading on the old episode, because I want to see how much I can restore of it. And but the thing is, with AI, it's, of course, it can't do things perfectly, but at least nowadays it's a viable option to do upscaling and all that sort of thing, which was pretty much impossible in previous days. So, because at work, when something was shot out of focus, and people said, can you sharpen it? And I said, I can sharpen what is there, but I can't invent or make up magically new pixels where there were none before. But nowadays, when I have something that is pretty out of focus, I just scale it down to 50 or percent or 33%, and then upscale it from that small source, so that essentially the algorithm dreams up new pixels in between. But like I said, your mileage may vary. You get different mileage out of it. There we go. Okay, so while I was yapping, this is the sky. Like I said, there is going to be this cliff on top of it anyway, so I think this is good. So next layer is going to be I'm still not that happy with the sky, but yeah, for now this should be good. Next layer is of course the sea underneath, and I want the sea of course to be a bit darker, so I picked just the color that I currently have for the sky and make it darker. And the next thing is I want to blend it a bit with blue, so this is why I shift halfway here into the blue. Of course, if you want a certain to get out certain shades of colors or certain blends between colors, this is how I always do it. Is, yeah, this is the color that I have, this is the color, let's say this is the color that I want, maybe this one here, and then essentially I just go, okay, in between here about 50%, I think this is where I need to be, but this one of course should be darker. And yeah, let's give it a try and have it dark in front and then get a bit brighter there, that we get the Fresnel effect towards the horizon. Like I said, I don't live close to an ocean, I've only seen it on travels. Yeah, let's to be sure. I made a new layer mask out there where the layer mask looks like this. So it's just that no matter where I draw on this layer there, it only affects the bottom portion there. Beautiful, beautiful. It still looks a bit too friendly, I have to say. So maybe I make this go even, make it even black, almost black. Something like this. And of course, maybe we need to have some sort of reflection there from the sky. You know what? Maybe I will also go there and insert a new layer for the sky, that the sky also gets some more drama. And it's a bit more dark there. Yeah. Lady Mistlev says, come visit Canada. Oh, I've heard good things about Canada. It's like, people say it's like Maine with winter sports. At least this is how it was described to me. And I've never been to Maine, so yeah. All I know of Maine is horrible things happen in Stephen King stories there. And beautiful maple trees and white houses. So yeah, I think I like it how this looks so far. I will try now to get some details there, some reflections on the waves. Like I said, I don't know how this reflects usually. Sea reflects, but if I get here just some sort of glimmer here, and maybe hint at some waves going on there. So just, yeah, I don't really see it. Of course, yeah, the brush was 1 pixel wide, so I take my pencil there. Okay, so let me zoom in a bit closer. Yeah, maybe. I can of course turn the canvas if I manage to record. Thank you. I can rotate the canvas, and this was, I think, the hottest tool in Photoshop CS1 back then, I think, and it blew my mind that you could do this, but I think I have used it not as often as I should have. So again, I'm not quite sure how specularity works on waves, but I think for now this is what I'm attempting to do and hope that it works. Of course it gets darker here because, yeah, I'm underneath the layer that makes everything darker, so this of course explains it. So yeah, I just draw a bit too much of specularity here, and then I will just use the good old eraser to get it out again. This was too much. Ingen Imbola says Topaz Gigapixel works great for still images. I use it to upscale low-res scan or a painting for a project, and it was great. Also, it can be very useful for texture upscale for 3D where you need a close-up. Yes, I've invested in the entire Topaz suite. Well, not the entire Topaz suite, but it's Topaz Gigapixel and Topaz Mask AI, and recently the Topaz Video Enhance AI. And this is the one that I'm using. This is the Video Enhance AI, and the cool thing about it is that it allows you to choose which kind of AI model you want to use. Do you want one that's a bit more inventive on the details, or one that just reduces flickering, because you can also more or less use it to denoise something. But what I also use is there's a GUI out there for Waifu 2X. This is called Waifu 2X Cafe. It's like coffee, but with just one E and an A. This one here. And this one doesn't cost you a thing, and it also allows you to select which kind of model you want. And again, since this was more or less made for anime avatar upscaling or anime shows upscaling, especially if you have some sort of graphics or logos maybe that you need bigger or something, or just, yeah, drawn stuff, you get very good results there with this Waifu 2X, and since it's offline, you can run it on your computer and don't need to use up bandwidth. Okay, this was not what I wanted. There we are. Why is there? Okay, this one can go. Okay, so those are my waves. Maybe it should get a bit broader here. Well, not like the, yeah, it's you get the point. It's not like this. But yeah, I will know why is it always selecting another brush. Okay, and with very low opacity, I will try to whip this into shape. And always I have an eye there on my thumbnail view, that in the thumbnail view it looks nice and okay. But I think, yeah, I try to get away with this now. Of course, if you want to see lighthouses in Canada, don't go to the middle. Yeah, this makes sense. It's like people said, yeah, don't have sushi in countries that don't have any access to the sea. And for Austria, this also extends to don't get sushi at gas stations. So, okay, yeah, let's stop fiddling, because yeah, this is already, I'm already doing some details. But so far, I think I like how this is going. Also like this little hint of teal there in the background of the sky. This is cool. So now let's save this and let's take care of the problematic stuff. That is, of course, the lighthouse and the cliffs and so on. So on top of everything, yeah, I just picked the color that I have here for the sea. And for the cliffs, they are probably a bit darker. So make them a bit more black, less saturated maybe, and maybe they're on the brown red side or more on the green blue side. Yeah, I will pick this cyan color there and see if it looks wrong or not. So for this I take a very opaque brush, this round soft, no, this is not what I want. This is one of those simulated brushes, just a good old hard elliptical brush there, and make it like 200 pixels. And when I'm drawing things in the distance in a landscape, I usually like to have my pencil or my brush tip like this, very elliptical, and that when I can draw something like this here, you can see this looks like a river in the distance, and this is very, very easy. Frank says, looking at the map, maybe in the middle would end up on the coast of Hudson Bay, so maybe there are lighthouses there anyway. Yeah, I think with Canada, it's pretty easy to land at a point where you get lighthouses and or forests. A friend of mine from what was the first school you go to after kindergarten? I'm not quite sure with the American school system. And yeah, he went with his father there to camp for I think 2 months over the summer in the middle of nowhere in Canada. And I think to this day my friend always recalls this story with how awesome it was and how he read the same book 4 times. So yeah, let's see how this looks without guides, if we can get a feel there for... Yeah, it's probably a bit too dark for the stream, right? This is a problem there. The other thing is that I also get the glare from the lights that I have up, so I make a new adjustment layer and where I pretty much brighten up everything. Let's call this adjustments, and yeah, just to see actually what is going on here. The problem with adjustment layers is, of course, when you pick colors, and now pretty much the color you pick is the one you picked with the adjustment layer there. But in Photoshop you can say, when you sample a color, where is my thing here, you can say sample all layers or all layers and no adjustments, and this is what I'm using now, because now I can pick, let's say, this color here, and it's still the wrong color. How is this? Okay, now I still have the other color from before. Okay, so those are the cliffs. This one has quite an overhang there, and you know what, let's come up with here some rocks out there. I would assume there are some rocks there. Like I said, not near the ocean, so this is all how I think things go. I mean, this overhang maybe is a bit too much. Maybe let's make it like this. Then of course there would be the surf licking at the bottom. It looks a bit repetitive there. Maybe let's get this out. Inkinimbula says, hey, layers naming. Yeah, just a couple of them, but I think we've all, especially those who worked with Photoshop, but pretty much all of us had to open a previous project of ours, and where it was just untitled layer or untitled something or untitled polygon 356 has the wrong normal. So good luck in tracking down which is this this one polygon or this incorrect mesh. So yeah, this is why I'm a big believer in naming things and also doing documentation. And my yeah, now it looks a bit too regular. For documentation, it's always I think the code should be self-explanatory, and I usually comment something along the broad strokes, like, yeah, this block is supposed to be doing this, or when something is going really wrong, where you would, when I know, okay, I'm doing things that are very unorthodox in a sense, but wrong mode. But so whenever I will be looking at my code as well, I probably ask myself, why am I doing it this way? And this is when I drop the comment there that says, yeah, this is because these and these assumptions, and we always know that x will always be above 0, and but sometimes it's not, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is pretty much my draft there for this overhanging cliff there. It's a bit weird. Lino Cormac says, primary school, thank you so much. And I need to go, there is already looking super cool. Oh, thank you, looking forward to seeing the finished painting. Thank you so much for dropping by, Lilo, and have a great week. If you're still there. Because, yeah, me and catching up on the chat. Okay, so the next thing that I'm a bit worried about is, of course, the lighthouse. And because I don't want to take any chances, where is Google Images and Lighthouse, and I will just pick a reference and try to, no, not the, apparently there's a movie called The Lighthouse. Who would have thought? Pigeon Point Lighthouse. Yeah, maybe take this. This is a super small image, but let me just take a screenshot of it. It doesn't have to be big, just something as a reference, because it's always good to have references, unless you're doing some dreamscapes, which usually that's the thing that I do. But yeah, like I said, it's good to have references. Courtesy Poo says, Pigeon Point is cool. I've never been there, I have no idea where Pigeon Point is, but apparently it must be quite something, because apparently when you just enter lighthouse into Google, this is what comes up. So yeah, let's take this as my reference. I just call this layer cliffs, and the cliffs is on top of the lighthouse layer because we are lower, I think, on a lower portion there, on a lower edge of the cliff than the lighthouse is at, because it's above the horizon, so we're looking at it from below. Lighthouse. Yeah, this was probably incorrect Dutch spelling of lighthouse. Okay, so how will I draw the lighthouse? Good question. I don't know. Let's keep my brush there, and where does it make sense that the lighthouse is? Maybe like so. Maybe have it like this, and there is this thing that goes round, and yeah, this thing there on top. No idea what all those parts are called, just that the silhouette, that the shape looks vaguely like a lighthouse, and then I'm happy. Pigeon Point is in California, says Crazy Boo. Ah, cool, thank you. Now I've learned something. I would have thought this was maybe, yeah, Nova Scotia. But yeah, cool, thanks. And Frank says it's called Woertoren in Dutch. I'm sorry for butchering it. So that would be a very incorrect spelling. Okay, so it's not Leitenhuis or something. For some reason now this sounds like Finnish, what I'm doing now. What I like about Finnish is, yeah, when I'm doing some rally stuff with Red Bull, I get usually the audio tracks from the inside, from the POV, and there you always have, of course, the co-driver that's telling the driver what the next bends will be. It's like 3-7 strong, caution ditch or something like this. And what I always like is when I get the Finnish co-driver, because he sounds so incredibly agitated while the other guy's just driving his car. And it's just so fun to listen to Finnish. I don't know why. I have a soft spot in my heart for Finnish, of all things. Okay, so maybe I should not draw parts of the cliff there on my lighthouse layer, but I think I'm quite happy with how the lighthouse looks. But is the positioning okay? Should it be closer to the edge or not as close to the edge? Let's keep it there. Let's keep it there for now. And but for the background, let's get rid of this for now. Maybe have some more of the red behind the background. So I just use what's this tool called? The smudge tool. I think it was even once called even the smudge finger, which didn't make it sound very appealing. But this is very cool, especially if you just go left to right, to get some sort of this wispy clouds. But usually this smudge tool has been, I turn off now the adjustment layer. This smudge tool has often been used incorrectly from people who just wanted to do some stamps or just some very basic retouching, and maybe something, the background didn't look right, and they just used the smudge tool and draw the background into the foreground, just that it covers whatever thing that it needs to be covered. And this is usually the telltale sign of yeah, this person was not really a Photoshop pro and they didn't quite know what they were doing. But as you can see, for this wispy clouds, it works nice. But the smudge finger is like the Comic Sans of Photoshop tools. You really need to know what to use it for. Cool, so let's save this, because I have a faint feeling that I will screw this up sooner or later, this painting. So it's good to have a save. So by the way, here the foreground. Yeah, maybe this could also work well on the waves, that it maybe looks like some sort of long time exposure there. But in Photoshop, you can clearly see that this tool is, even on my machine, it's not very optimized. Let's put it mildly. So that especially when you use a big brush on a big canvas like here, I mean this one is not that big even, Yeah, I think I've made it look much worse. So let's step back in history before I did all this. Yeah, I think this is much nicer. Incan Imbula says Google pictures of Aniva Lighthouse. It's something straight from thriller movies. Aniva Lighthouse? Never heard of this. Where is Aniva Lighthouse? Oh wow, okay. So let me bring it over to the other screen. So this is this Aniva Lighthouse, so that you don't have to do some googling yourself. And yeah, it looks horrific. What's this? This must be Russian. It's from EugeneKaspersky.com, so apparently this is Russian. Cape Aniva, Sakhalin Island. Never heard of it, but this looks great. This looks really great in a horrific way. Yeah, I can clearly see the appeal of this lighthouse. You know what? Yeah, maybe our lighthouse. Oh, now I've closed Photoshop. Looks too tame. Why is it on this screen here? Get over there. Good. Maybe it needs to have some sort of weird growth, like something like this. Maybe, yeah, this is probably not like this. Now it looks a bit too weird, but yeah, I think the lighthouse looks too as much as you would expect it. Maybe just make it a bit weirder. Maybe give it like this big of a base there, and then maybe have some sort of platforms growing out there. Yeah, now still looks weird. Yeah, now I'm just trying around with making this a bit more interesting, giving it a different shape there. It's the abandoned bit that provides the thriller feel, I think, says Frank. Yeah, abandoned lighthouses. I mean, pretty much most things that are abandoned, that are usually good, as soon as they become abandoned, they are just nightmare fuel. Abandoned kindergarten. Abandoned hospital. I mean, you get pretty much down to the IP of Silent Hill, right? Or maybe have some sort of weird tentacle grow out of it. How about this? How does this look? Maybe it could be overgrown by tentacles. Huh, maybe, you know what, let's try this. Oh, I saved it. Cool. So maybe have something like this there. Oh, look, it looks like it's saying hi. Okay. Yeah. My god, tentacles are really problematic, because especially there, it's really hard that it's legible as horrible, horrific tentacles there in the silhouette, and not just a slender teapot saying hi, as it looks like right now. Huh. Yeah, I need a different eraser, because I have a feeling that I will be erasing quite a lot. So not this soft brush, but again I will use this elliptical brush there as my eraser tool, and I'll make this a bit bigger that you can see it better there on stream. So okay, next attempt. So the lighthouse is on its own layer, which is good, so I'm free to just try things out. Yeah, that it doesn't look like a staircase going around it, which it does look like now, but yeah, tentacles don't split like trees, do they? They just are full tentacles from where they are. I mean, now it looks almost ornamental. Also not like the lighthouse is in the grip of terrible tentacles. You know what? Let's try a bigger brush then there. maybe have also the tentacles come around here, like something is crawling up there with tentacles and just trying to get a hold on. Maybe just have some things there breaking off here. Yeah, this could work. I think this could work. It's just some horrible thing coming out of the sea, but we can't see what it is because there's this cliff in between. But it's gripping this lighthouse here. This was too much, perhaps. Looks like an angry squid. Looks like an angry squid. What do you think? Does this look like something? I think now we need really to give it some more details, like reflections there. That we get a bit more than just the silhouette, that it has some sort of depth to it, a bit more. Or maybe it's tentacles, but also some kind of talons there on the other hand. Yeah, on the other hand. Yeah, not quite sure about this. Frank says, I'm not sure it's possible to give the lighthouse as such much more character while it's a reasonable small silhouette. You still need something that tells you it's tentacles, I think. Without context, those are just weird lines, yeah. And Luis says, how about complementing the lighthouse with other stuff around it? I was thinking of something like Stone Ship Age from Myst. You got the rocks and the ships along with the rest of the stuff. Oh my god, Myst is always quite something to aspire to. Yeah, something that also, you mean maybe there something there like a mountain range is quite a stretch. Yeah, but right now it's really hard to tell what this could be here, right? This is, if you don't know it, and if you look at the thing in its entirety, why don't I see it? Hello, why don't you update image? Oh god, I save it what I have. Oh dear, it looks like the graphics card is not updating whatever is happening here. Maybe the GPU, the memory is full. Okay, I will try to open it again. It's 100 megs, it's not that large. Okay, so here we are again. Something else to complement it with, because right now it's just a nice sunset, maybe a weird framing there because the sun is out of the frame and the lighthouse is there on this side. But yeah, at the end of the evening the soothing landscape becomes a nightmarish hell, says Ingen Imula. Yeah, this is how I draw things. It's always going to be some sort of nightmarish hell in the end, and this, for some reason, this soothes my soul. So you know what, I will just try here with different structures there as well. Always like those weird poles there sticking out. You never quite know what this is going to be, just to have this this is a contrast to those very organic shapes of the tentacles. I will just try to have here some sort of ruins. And again, I'm still using this brush that is pretty much, yeah, just a very flat line that I can easily get this sort of, yeah, maybe rebar shape sticking out there. But I don't know anything about construction, so this is all just purely aesthetic in a sense. Yeah, not quite sure what this is right now, but apparently there was a city on this edge of the cliff. It looks a bit too regular, maybe. You know what? Maybe I give it the good old Half-Life treatment, and this is just some sort of power lines hanging there between those towers. This always makes it look a bit more run down, but still technological in a sense. Like, yeah, they had some power lines there. This is not just some medieval fortress, but something that was more along the lines of, yeah, technological age. You know what? I will try to give now here this thing as well. Or does it look now like a wonky sailing ship that's just, yeah, that didn't make it. I think that the tentacles could be confused with overgrown plants, like a giant vine is growing around the lighthouse. Yes, you know what? You're right, and also I wouldn't mind, because it's not clear what this is. This, yeah, it could be vines for all that we know, because I think this is always what I like about photography of people like Jeremy Crutzen, if this is the correct name. Is that you can't quite tell what's going on. There we go. You're not quite sure what's going on, but there is clearly a story going on there. And maybe we can find some more pictures. Yeah, clearly there is something going on there, but we're never quite sure what is going on. Because it's all about the details, and some things, for example, where is one? Was it this one? Yeah, like this one here. So there is something clogged, and it's all about the details. Pretty much, did she try to clean something? Why is this house here? Who is living there? So it's pretty much essentially opening up this entirety of possibility space of, my god, what happened here? Why are we looking at this? Why is pretty much everything staged as it is in there? And this ambiguity that it's still never answered in the artwork, I think this is something that's very enticing, at least to me, so that, yeah, you can't be quite sure. You're never quite sure what it really is that you saw. So it could be wines, right? It could be wines. It's cool. Everything is okay. It could be wines. So yeah, just those some rocks that are breaking off. Yeah, maybe I'm overdoing it here. Just have yeah. It's really hard trying to to hint at something that just broke off there. Maybe have something there that's already crashing into the surf, because the thing that I've completely neglected right now is, of course, more detail on the water. And you know what? I will try to see if I get some more detail on the water there, and maybe have a bit of a fog appeal. Like I said, it's very dark. Yeah, maybe then I can see what other things or what other details I want to draw in there. So yeah, now it's just emerging there from some weird ground fog. Maybe too much. But I'm just trying to cheat my way around these horrible rocks that I hinted at down here. So yeah, maybe let's not do this, and instead try my hand at the surf. So the surf is, at least in this daylight pic here. Okay, so the rocks are very dark and the surf is very bright around the rocks. And this is all that I want from my reference. Because otherwise, if I pick a reference that is too detailed, then of course all I see is the details and not the big picture. So yeah, I will just try and see if I can make this work there as well, but I'm not very hopeful, because like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, and I have no experience with drawing water and shore and such. Incan Imbula says, okay, next is a skeleton of a giant sea creature raising from the shallow water. This sounds interesting. So maybe here, or maybe there is some sort of a stranded boat there, the carcass of a boat. So there we have some splashes of water there. Does this look okay? Does this make sense? Or is it just random strokes that don't really make a lot of sense there? I mean, I have a feeling that it's a bit too bright because the rest here is just one solid color essentially. So maybe I need to have here more of this shore thing. Yeah, I'm trying to whip it into shape somehow. But you know what? The thing that's probably missing here is some sort of light source, that there is something more going on. But before that, I will try to give this water here in front again more depth, somehow more depth. Incannibula says splashes look good to me, at least in a zoom out picture. Exactly, and this is why I always start very big, that as soon as I start zooming out, that things that look horrible, like random paint strokes, that they come together at least somewhat in the smaller picture. And if I turn down out the adjustments, it feels like this weird evening at sunset. The sky is red and there's, oh my god, there's something going on there. And I think when I start doing a light source there, let's try a very cheap light source. Okay, what color do I want the light source in? You know what, I will start with red and then just go from there. Okay, what should be lit? Of course, maybe the lighthouse should be lit. Oh my god, this looks sinister. This looks super sinister. The shape of the cliff makes me think of a ship. Oh right, yeah, this looks like a giant oil tanker, right? What's the front part of a ship called? The stern, I think it was the stern. So maybe that could also be it. The bow. Right, why? Sailors, make your life easier by calling parts of the ship front, back, left and right. This would make things much easier. You wouldn't come off as big weirdos with your own language. Okay, so about this light source here, right now, you know what? Let's go all in, and let's say the big lighthouse has spotted us. So this is my attempt at a Michael Bay-like lens flare. But I need a different brush for this. So yeah, I think this is too much. But yeah, now we got this. And we also don't see that it's a lighthouse anymore. So yeah, never mind. But you know what? I like this big evil red eye there on this lighthouse for some reason. You know what? Let's zoom in and make the outline even sharper there. And right now I'm doing the details. As you can see, I've zoomed in, so I will have here some sort of specular reflection from the light, maybe even on this tentacle here. I'm a big fan of these specular reflections, because if I zoom out, you can see here that it really hints at different sorts of surfaces. Like this is a very reflective surface, and this one is a very slick and slippery surface, and all you can do this with just specular lighting. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if this works. Frank says, I think the last few strokes made it too much, but that before worked, so maybe a bit. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I want to keep this in anyway, but you know what, I will just, it's a bit too similar to the sky color, exactly, yeah. And if we change the sky color to something that is close to what we have there on the bottom, now it's like I said, it's got this very sickly sky color. Maybe make it a bit brighter, no, darker. And now the red will really pop. And this is usually why I like to have not more than one or two different colors or yeah, 3 different colors at most in their dominant colors. My god, just with changing the color of the highlights of the sky, you can give this a completely different feel. This I like this very much. Okay, so let's try it like this, and now the red one will look very. Oh, look at this! We still got, of course, we still got the reflections now. Don't make any sense. But now this got a completely different feel now. So I think maybe, as much as I like the red sky, or liked the red sky before, maybe let's try give it the green color like this. I think this green color works quite well with the dark blue of the sea then. Of course, we need to have here the reflections of the sea on the water. Let's call this reflections. Save it. And yeah, let's also dial it via hue and saturation. This is super easy, especially if you limit yourself to drawing just one color on one layer. Using then hue and saturation is super fast and super easy to change then the color of the thing, of the layer in question, without polluting any others. Actually, this one looks way cooler, says Ink and Imbula. Yes, and I have to agree. So now the reflections, of course, are much too strong. But if I keep them just at 13% opacity, and you know what, I will try something and will stretch them out horizontally. Maybe not that much, but who knows? Because now, of course, this direct sunlight is gone, so the reflections will be much wider. And I think I turn on the lights a bit more, and I think I also like this much better now. This, I think we've really arrived at something right now. So this looks, I really like that, how cool this looks. So maybe this red of the lighthouse, I mean, right now the lighthouse is looking right at us. So, but what if the lighthouse is looking down at this tentacle thing here? You know what? I'm just trying things out. So the guides, I can get rid of the guides. What else is here? This is, yeah, I can delete this layer. This one is just the eye. I just call it eye, not eye. And what is this? Oh, this is this fog here. How does it look without this brightness? Yeah, not quite sure. Maybe I keep it in. Let's just call it fog. Okay, so not the eye, but I take the red. And now I'm just trying to see what it would look like if we get here some strong red color that's maybe looking down here. Again, I'm just trying things out and see how they would look or come along. Make this bigger, and I've lost my brush again. And the opacity, turn it down and just have this sort of glow here without the adjustment layer. Something like this. Frank says I have to go as well. Looking forward and seeing the end result later. Good night. Good night, Frank, and thank you so much for attending so far. So now it really doesn't look that much like a lighthouse anymore, does it? So this could also be pretty much, this looks better. This could also be pretty much anything, sort of a monster or something. Not quite sure, but now with this incredibly hazy thing there, I'm not quite sure if I like it or not. I mean, it got some appeal, but I'm not quite sure if it reads as anything in particular apart from red lights. Now it looks like the Sauron eye, says Ink and Imbula. Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? What I can try is maybe... This is more or less like a lighting problem and not so much a framing problem, I think. Let's have another sip of cola and contemplate this image there. Let me just make it a bit bigger while I think about it. Maybe what if we have a boat that shines a bright light up? Let's give it a try. And I put on the adjustment layer. How about that? Let's give it a try. So hard elliptical. Maybe I should save this brush because I'm using it that often. So maybe have some sort of... How does your average boat look like? All I know is what boats look like are from Mario Paint. When I Google for boat, I'll probably get all the yachts there, or TripAdvisor, best boat rides in Salzburg. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking at. Ah, God. Yeah, those are not the boats that I have in mind. I have more in some sort of a rickety old boat that's been in a harbor for who knows how long, and not one of those stylish leisure boats there. Let's try. Yeah, let's try a tugboat, maybe. Yeah, something like this one here. I think this looks good. So again, I'm pretty much interested, or solely interested, about its silhouette. So I don't bother getting the entire picture, just pasting it here. No. New. Paste. There we go. And flip it. Image transform. Flip. And just put it here. So, okay, this looks much different than what I had. So, yeah, get this thing here. Like this. Oh dear. You recall when I said drawing is all about managing perspectives? I hate managing perspectives. Does this look like a boat? If you look at it from small, it does not. It's a bit too big considered the perspective there. So maybe if I make it smaller, like so. Yeah, it's still a bit big. Incan Imbula says, does it have to have that beam at all? You can do something like a glint of fire in the structure to the right. There here, as you mean something as if it's burning or something. I like your thinking. You know what? When I'm finished here with this horrible boat thing here, I could try this. Yes. So where is my splashy water? Where did I put the splashy water? Layer 12. No, this was the boat. Layer 10. This is it. Splashy. So something like this. And I don't need this anymore. So let's... Come on. There we go. Okay, and now I just try out to have there a light from the boat shine up. Maybe the light is up here. Ah, this was too big. But it's a super strong light, so I really want to carry that across. And yeah. Nah, that's a bit too bright because it's not targeted in our direction. So I turn down my drawing opacity pretty much further down so that it looks like so. My god. Oh, my wife just says fertig, that she's finished her shift. So I think I'm sorry, but I will have to leave you all right now. And maybe we will continue with this painting some other time because I really like how it's coming along. But yeah, let me quickly zoom out there and get rid of the adjustments. Of course, I painted the light source onto the boat as well, which was not too good. But yeah, I think maybe, you know what, maybe I want to continue on the stream with this one. I don't know when, probably next Sunday, but maybe I got some time sooner to do this. But yeah, I like how this is coming along. What is layer 11? Oh, layer 11 is this big red thing there. That's, yeah, this should go. And the fog, maybe the fog is too strong. But yeah, I think I will keep working on that. So far, it's one of my better paintings, I have to say. Yeah, again, thank you everyone for dropping by and being active in the chat and giving me good ideas. Like I said, I really like it that you said there that there's just some fire glimmering, and my wife says if it works, and I say, yeah, 5 minutes. Cool. So yeah, I like this glimmer there, and also your feedback in terms of what to do with the tentacles and so on, and the sky color. And yeah, it's rendering still for my wife. Yeah, so I think we should continue like this next week, that it's going to be more or less a collaborative painting, that whenever I'm not quite sure what to do, I just ask the benevolent people there on the stream, on the chat, to help me out with my art-related problems. And as you can see, even if you can't really draw that good, you can cheat yourself around a lot, like keeping pretty much everything in the distance or occluded by something, and so on and so forth. Because I think the only thing that I can really, well, I feel proficient is quite a strong word, but I think I can evoke the essence of our skies, apparently. But yeah, could be worse. Could be worse. We could have tried to draw a human character that should come off as human and not cartoony, and then yeah, I'm not touching that. Okay, so let me switch over for now, and let's save this. Of course, saving. If your program crashes, you don't have to save. Because, yeah. So again, thank you. Cursipu says well played, and Ink and Imula says good luck. It looks great. Again, thank you. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful week. I hope this was relaxing and chill for you, with me dithering about what sky color to use or where to put the lights. And yeah, again, I hope you have a wonderful, great week. Not too stressful. At least this is what I'm also hoping for myself. Hi, it's me in big again. And may the unicorns look upon you with their favor. Cheers, by the way. And I hope I see you next week. And in other news from me, yes, still working on the Ludum Dare 46 postmortem, and I didn't get far in the past week, sadly, because when I get home from work I was always so exhausted. But I think now with this nice and friendly, relaxing stream, I'm still getting the hang of how things are when I'm not overly stressing about them, and then I can continue. Okay, again, thank you so much for watching. Let me switch over to the right slide there. Old man yells at plane. This was not it. There we go. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great week, and see you probably next week. And all I can say is the unicorns say farewell, and so do I. Cheers.